lots of ways of comping in jazz. You've got your chordal harmonies, you've got your sort of upper things like what you'd see Herbie do, but what you often see in comping, especially with groups, is Drop-2 voicings. And it's kind of mysterious. A lot of people wonder, why is it called Drop-2, and how do I use them? You use Drop-2 voicings in context. So I'm going to try to demystify some of that for you. It's actually pretty simple. Drop-2, let's just say we're in C minor. If you were to do a regular basic comping, which let's just say the 3, 5, 7, 9 comping, okay? You take the second voice from the top, which is that, and you drop it 1 octave. Boom. So now you're there. Okay, so now you have the 7, 3, 5, and 9 in C minor. So it's pretty simple and very basic if you just use it as such, but imagine if you wanted to now move your comping. Let's say this was your original comping. Let's say you wanted that comping. Now you moved it down, so you have 9, 3, 5, and 7. You take the second voice from the top, the G, you move down an octave. So now you have these 2 compings to play with, and it starts to get a little more pretty. So then let's just move that, your original comping, move it down again. So now you have 7, 9, 3, 5. Whoops, that's the flat 5. 7, 9, 3, 5. And then you take that second voice from the top, which is the 3, move it down an octave. So you have that. Now we've just created 3 different compings. So there's this, and this, and now you begin to get this beautiful landscape. I don't know why I pronounced it like that. Right, so all I did was I took this comping and this comping and this comping, and I turned them into Drop-2. So this, and if I were to still keep going down, it could be this, or I'd take the second voice and move it down. It's a little weird because you have a flat 9 here when you use that particular comping, but it can still be really beautiful. Yeah, and if you want to avoid that and do the Drop-2 and avoid the flat 9, you can actually just take that bottom note and put it down to the 1. So instead of mimicking this comping, you're mimicking this comping. So you take second voice from the top, move it to the bottom. And by the way, this translates to major because what's the relative major of C minor? It's E flat major. So you have that whole landscape of both the major and the minor that you can use to get these really pretty sort of open voicings. That's Drop-2. Assignment number 1 that I'm giving you is do that, but do it in all the keys. Just get your basic minor. So do that in every key. So get that, which in C minor, start with this comping, take the 2, drop it down, go there, go to the next one, take the 2, drop it down. Go to the next one, take the 2, drop it down. Go to the next one, take the 2, and drop it down. And then just get that up and down the whole keyboard. Then do it in the next key up. Right? So if this is your C sharp minor, take the 2, drop it down. Boom. This is your first one, becomes this is your second one. It's really actually easy to, this is your third one. This is your fourth one. 2, drop it down. So then you that's right. Okay, so let's go into another little part of Drop-2, which is diatonic movement. So right now we did essentially pentatonic movement, which is like, now this is going to start a little bit differently. Let's just look at it in C, okay? C major. So we're going to start with this Drop-2 voicing, okay? And this is a Drop-2 voicing because it would be our 5, 6, 1, and 3, and we take the 2 and we drop it down. So now it's just got the 1 on the bottom there, all right? If we were to go up from here by 1 note in the diatonic scale, so your melody goes from an E to an F, what would you do? What I would do is I would take the rest of my chords and make them into a 4-note diminished comping. And we have so if you drop 2, you take the 2 and you drop it down. Now it's down there, okay? So drop 2 means there, the C goes down, then you go up diatonically and it's diminished. So now your 2 goes down, that's your chord, okay? Now you go up again and it's here, and up, 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 up. That's how you do a scale using drop 2s when you want to move diatonically. It's a little deceptive because the harmony has a lot of chromatic movement in it, but your actual melody, aside from the flat 6, which is not fully diatonic, it's a little bit of chromatic movement. That's the bebop scale. And the reason that you have to do that is because if you're using your 6 in your comping, so let's just say this is your drop 2 from here. If you were to take this and move it up just a whole step, you're already back on your consonant chord, and you don't have your sort of tension chord, right? This is your tension chord. So you can play with just the consonant chords. That's sort of like what we did in the first little exercise here, but then you can also move it diatonically, so you get all the chromatic chords. Now let me talk a little bit about that, because there's some interesting stuff in that at least I find it really interesting. I don't know if you will, but you'll notice when so we're on the 1 here, basic drop 2 voicing. Now we're based on the 2, and it's this tension chord, it's the diminished chord, right? Which is made because this was your original one, you move that down. Tell me, what would this actually be if you were talking harmonically? It would be something very specific. The primary way that you would want to describe this would be a 5 dominant 7 chord with a flat 9. And if you look at it that way, with the G being your 5, the 1 of this chord is the 5 of the key that you're in. This would be your 3, 7, flat 9, and 5, right? So now let's keep going up. We're 1, and then again, 5, flat 9, 3, 7 of the G. 1, there it is again. 7, 3, 5, flat 9. So you just keep cycling between this pentatonic 1 and the diminished that makes up the 5 that has the flat 9 in it. I know it's a lot of stuff. So that's the exercise, by the way. Then do it up a half step. Okay, so then you go up another half step, and you're in D, right? The idea, all the way up and then back down, and then you can move on and make melodies. Like if you wanted to go, that was just like, then if you want to take it into actual songs, you could do, for example, do you recognize that? In a sentimental mood. And then the tension, which is C, 7, flat 9, back to the F again. And then you kind of have to, the rest of them are not they're not tension release chords. It's all just basically pentatonic. There's another idea I have for that I will do in another lesson. If you want me to, ask me on Weebid if you want me to go through in a sentimental mood, because I've done all this crazy, like these rich comping things, like and also remember, you can make other patterns, like go up diatonically but then down chromatically, you know. All I'm doing is like up and down. You can do that in every key. It's super helpful. Thank you very much, everybody. This was an overview of Drop2 voicings in response to the Weebid idea. Can you expand on the concept of Drop2 voicing technique for comping? I hope you enjoyed, and check out the next video where I'll be explaining how to use these voicings over a standard. Thank you, and happy practicing. See ya.